diaphragmatic breathing in early postpartum. So if you've worked with me before, you know I love diaphragmatic breathing. It's a great tool to use throughout your workouts. In postpartum, especially early postpartum, it's going to be the first exercise you do, regardless of what type of birth you had. Let's just talk about how we might do it a little bit differently than in pregnancy or not in this early postpartum time. So as a reminder for diaphragmatic breathing, we're going to inhale through our nose, exhale out our mouth. We're trying to find length in our rib cage and pelvic floor with our inhale, and then we're trying to let everything just come back and relax on our exhale. Without even having to try, our pelvic floor is naturally going to contract and lift on our exhale, which is pretty great. And that's why this is one of the first exercises that we are going to do, is because just by breathing in that intentional way, we're using our deep core muscles, the diaphragm, pelvic floor, the ab wall. We are moving and bringing blood flow to all these areas, so it's great to start using these muscles again in a way that isn't going to be too intense, but it's also going to really help that healing process as well. You can do diaphragmatic breathing in a variety of ways. I recommend you try it in a variety of ways. In the beginning, those early weeks, it might be while you're sitting in a chair nursing your baby. It might be laying in bed. It might be laying on the couch with your feet up. These are all normal positions to do it in. We'll talk about a few here, but really seated, side lying, or supine, which just means on your back. Those are going to be the most common ones. In any position, you're just trying to get, like I said, that expansion through the rib cage, through the pelvic floor on the inhale, and then exhale, breathe intentionally out through your mouth, let everything relax. For early postpartum, I recommend doing this 3 different times per day for 10 reps each set. So whenever you can think about it, set an alarm on your phone, 3 times a day, 10 reps each time, okay? So let's start laying on our back. If you're laying on your back, I recommend having your knees bent, feet on the floor. You can place your hands on your rib cage if that helps to give you some feedback. Take a nice big breath in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. As you exhale, you can think about blowing up a balloon, or if you had a straw in your mouth and you're blowing your air out through that straw. Try and do this slowly. It's not a race. As you inhale, I like to think about expanding through my rib cage in the front, in the sides, and in the back. So if I'm laying on my back, I'm going to be thinking about filling up my shoulder blades and my ribs and on my back with air. So I want to feel that expansion going into the mat behind me. We can just roll to our side, do the same thing here. So my hands on that rib cage on top. Trying to feel expansion here. Okay, another great position to try this in is child's pose. So hands and knees are wide. Slowly bring your torso down, let your belly be between your legs. And relax your head if you like. And the same thing, breathe into the ribs. Child's pose is a great position if you're having a lot of lower back discomfort. Like you can just really breathe in and lengthen through there. The pelvic floor and the respiratory diaphragm are connected. So if your pelvic floor, if it just feels like I am not ready to put my mental energy there and work on lengthening through the pelvic floor, that's fine. Focus on your rib cage, because as you're thinking about expanding through the ribs, your pelvic floor is mimicking that. It's also going to be lengthening and expanding. And then as the rib cage comes back together with your exhale, the pelvic floor naturally contracts and lifts. They work together. They're a great team. We like them to be friends. So I totally get it if it feels like I'm not connected to that area of my body right now. Don't worry, it'll come back. That connection will come back. In the meantime, just focus on the rib cage, on your lungs, keeping the neck, the jaw, the shoulders relaxed. Get those 10 breaths in. 3 times a day is the goal. Really, whatever you can accomplish here is great. Postpartum is a time unlike any other. Do what you can, when you can. Trust it's all gonna be okay.